everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Code X podcast. I'm your host, Sonny Kruger. With me, as usual, my co-host, Jamie Wojcik, who's wearing half of a Spider-Man mask, and Tim Morse. Today's special episode is on Spider-Man No Way Home.
Can you tell? Is this not great?
You wear that at the theater?
Yes.
That's amazing.
Well, I had it with me at the theater. I didn't put it on. There's another guy with his onesie. And I was like, bro, do you want this? And he's like, no, I don't want to look ridiculous. And he's in a onesie. So.
Oh, jeez. But yeah, so today's special episode is all based on the movie Spider-Man No Way Home. Warning, yes, there will be spoilers. We're going through the whole thing. We'll be reviewing it. First, we'll start the show off with the Do You Know? And then, we'll get into the movie, what we liked, what we disliked, a whole bunch of things. But so today's episode is Spider-Man No Way Home.
All right, real fast. Can you guys take me seriously the whole time while I'm wearing this? No.
We don't have her, even without the mask, man. So you might as well leave it on.
I'm beautiful on the inside. That's what they told you the whole life, Sonny, huh?
You can think that. We'll let him think that, right, Tim?
Yeah, we'll pretend Sonny, just for today.
Sonny, you're amazing. I need to hear you say that.
You know what?
Sonny, I need another shirtless scene in the next episode of Series by Series.
Next time. And Tim, you're spectacular.
And I'm
sensational.
Yes.
He's a Marvel team up.
I gotta be that one.
The 26 issues. Yeah, that's
wait. It was what? Amazing,
spectacular, sensational.
And then there's another one. There's one more. It was
Peter
like
Parker.
Yes, that is one.
Adjective.
Ben Reilly's. That's the one I want to be. Scarlet Spider.
Super zany.
Ooh, no, we're not doing that. Okay.
Webtastic.
Moving on.
I don't know.
Yeah. But for the past
Web
months,
of Shadows. Web of Shadows.
There you go.
That's the one I want to be.
Yeah, but for the past months, we've been talking about every week. We've been going over Spider-Man No Way Home, rumors, this and that, and now we've all finally seen it.
Yeah.
So glad those are over.
Andrew Garfield's such a liar.
Yeah. Speaking of spoilers.
Sorry.
Yeah, we'll be going over spoilers, but we will start the show before we get to reviewing Spider-Man No Way Home. We will start off with Do You Know?
Ooh.
And do you know that Tim Morse is the one who will be starting us off today?
All right.
I don't think he knew.
I had no idea. So all my Do You Knows today are going to be all movie related. So they're going to be real easy. That's my Christmas present to you guys. So, okay. First one. When the first live action Spider-Man came out, Tobey Maguire one, the first trailer that was released was or was not the Twin Towers in that?
Yes, they were.
Okay.
They put them in there. Didn't they CGI'd them?
That's exactly right. So in the first trailer that was released for the Tobey Maguire, Sam Raimi Spider-Man, in that scene, that was the whole bank heist and robbery, and they hopped in the helicopter and were flying around, and Spider-Man webbed the helicopter in between the two towers. Mm-hmm. After the tragic events of 9/11, that trailer was scrapped, pulled from theaters, and they did something else. But when you see pictures of Tobey Maguire, Spider-Man looking in the eye, you can see the two towers in there.
Yeah. So that's a point for me on Sonny.
Point for you and a point for Sonny. There you go.
All right. Mine are all movie related as well. So, guys, do you know that at one point Tobey Maguire suffered a back injury that would prevent him from playing Spider-Man in his next movie? If that would have happened, who was the actor they set up to take over for Tobey Maguire?
Jake Gyllenhaal.
Edward Norton.
Tim got a point.
Yes.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that if you've seen any of the interviews for Far From Home, Gyllenhaal actually does sit there and say, I had the chance, because they talked about it before. He's like, I had the chance, but he wanted to keep going with the movies, and he's like, now I got my chance, so many years later.
Well, if I remember right, wasn't Jake Gyllenhaal and Kirsten Dunst dating at the time? And that was part of the reason why he was able to at least get his foot in the door.
Yeah.
And I was thinking Edward Norton because I saw a video before about another director who wanted to direct it,
Mhm.
and they were thinking of having Edward Norton as Spider-Man. Like it was their pick. They were had him in mind.
That would have
Okay.
been an interesting one to see.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. But my first one, it all goes with the movie, but movie to comics to this and that. Okay. So we know Dr. Otto Octavius, but what is his middle name?
Octagon. Otto Octagon Octavius.
Osmosis.
Jamie, you are not correct. His middle name is I was to say Otto Octagon Octavius, but his middle name, his name is Otto Gunther Octavius.
Gunther.
That's
Gunther
such a
is his middle
random name to put in there.
Yes.
It sounds like a name generator. Like they were just like, just hit enter and see what happens.
Oh my god.
Yes, his middle name is Gunther. All right. So
I like how
round
you
one is
told me
done.
I was wrong,
Oh.
but didn't say Tim was wrong.
I had
Tim,
high
you were wrong.
hopes.
Tim, you were wrong.
Yeah,
Oh,
thank
okay.
you.
All right.
No
never
points for you. I'm the point Nazi today.
Okay, now Tim.
All right.
start us off.
So, with the Amazing Spider-Man, the Andrew Garfield movie,
Mhm.
one of the characters in there was Captain Stacy. Who was the actor that played Captain Stacy in
Dennis
the Amazing
Leary.
Spider-Man?
Yeah, that's Larry. Yep.
Point each for both of you. That is absolutely correct. Dennis Leary played Captain Stacy, father of Gwen Stacy, love interest of Peter Parker. Did he survive? Do you guys remember?
No, he died.
Absolutely, he did.
Yes, you bet he did.
Okay, Jamie.
Oh, my turn. Okay. So mine are based on all the Spider movies. That includes the animated, that kind of stuff. But we'll get into
Okay.
that one in a bit. Okay, so for No Way Home, do you know that there was one way that William Defoe would reprise his role as Green Goblin? What was his one condition?
If he does his own stunts.
If he didn't have to wear the mask anymore.
Sonny gets a point. His one condition was he wanted to be able to do his own stunts just like he did in the previous movies that he was a part of.
Okay.
Yeah, finally, I was like, oh, wow, it's amazing, especially since he's 66 years old. I was like, wow.
Oh God, yes.
Well,
What a-
geez, for the
got to be
stunts
able to
that he
do
was, for the stunts that he was doing in that movie, that is spectacular, especially for his age.
Okay, I do have a fun fact after this when we're done with the Do You Know, because it just reminded me. So, Sonny, you're up.
Okay. All right. So we were talking about Marvel Cinematic Universe, and one of the biggest fans we know of the Marvel Cinematic Universe is director Martin Scorsese. So the biggest fans of Marvel. Well, Martin Scorsese directed the movie The Last Temptation of Christ. Which actor from Spider-Man No Way Home played the role of Jesus?
I was talking about this the other day. That's Willem Dafoe.
I'm gonna go with William Defoe, but I'm gonna say Jamie Foxx is the second runner-up.
Willem Dafoe. So I think we're all tied up.
Nope. You're at 3 points. Jamie's at 3 points, and I'm lagging behind by 1. As far as questions
okay.
go, yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
But if
3-3-2.
Yep, if the trend keeps going, it looks like it might be another tie between you guys.
Woo, no.
Okay, so last question. This one's going to be a little tougher.
Oh, yep, Sonny won.
There you go. All right.
Hopefully, right? Come on, root for me.
So in Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man 3,
Oh God.
So during the whole scene where Eddie Brock is exposed as a fraud, and the picture that is used in the movie is a picture of Spider-Man that was photoshopped. Who was the villain that was used in the comic storyline that they got the inspiration from?
Remember his name?
I'm gonna go with oh my God, it's not Firefly, isn't it Batman?
If it's Batman, then that's a big fat no.
No. I'm trying to remember if Firefly was like the Brendan Fraser dude playing. But no, I don't know. Jack and Lantern.
Is it? It might be Man Eater, something like that.
Okay, you're both wrong, Sonny. You are half right. It was Sin Eater.
Sin Eater.
Sin
I
Eater.
see it was something.
I'm about to
eater.
say, how is he half? You're both
Eater.
wrong, but he's half right. Like you,
So-
you guys are bad with this today. He's like, y'all both are wrong, but Sonny's half right.
Half right. So in the comic storyline
Sin
leading
Eater.
up to Eddie Brock becoming Venom, what Eddie Brock in the comic storyline was exposed for doing was the story that he did on Sin Eater, who was running around. What was he supposedly killing people? And Eddie Brock gave misinformation and misreporting and photography and things like that. And he was exposed, and his reputation and career was ruined, et cetera, which then led to the symbiote dropping on him while it was coming off of Peter and the church bells above.
Awesome.
There you go.
My turn, right?
Yep.
Okay, good. Now I could be. It's half my turn. Okay, so guys, do you know who voices Spider-Ham in Into the Spider-Verse?
I want to say Patton Oswalt.
Fat.
No.
Sorry.
John Krasinski.
That's a great guess, but you're totally wrong. No, Tim, you're half right because it was a comedian.
Shit.
No, it was John Mulaney.
I was close.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm not even gonna say anything to that. Okay, moving on. But yeah, that John Mulaney actually wanted that role for I don't know what reason. He just said he wanted it, and they just gave it to him. They didn't even like audition.
Wow. All right, so
Sounds
we're
good.
at 3 for you, Sonny, 3 for you, Jamie, and I'm still at 2. So I now have a chance to catch up to you guys.
I gotta get this one.
It's my last
didn't,
chance.
I didn't get that half. Dang it! If only I said sin instead of man.
Yeah.
Okay. Now we're at. With the movie, we know Dr. Octopus is in there. We know Aunt May, but we did not get to see much of a romance. We got to see them interact. But now we know in the comic books, Dr. Octopus tried to marry Aunt May. On what holiday did the almost wedding take place?
Thanksgiving.
Hanukkah.
Christmas Eve.
See, that was obvious, and I didn't want to go with that
This is almost up here, so yeah.
because I thought you were gonna trick me and be like, "It's not the answer," and then be like, "Yeah, it's not," and then I'd be like, "Oh no," and then I was like, "Okay, we're not gonna go with the obvious answer," but you double tricked me in my head.
So on Christmas Eve, Dr. Octopus tried to marry Aunt May in the Amazing Spider-Man issue 131.
So
Tim, you have the totals.
So
Tim,
yeah,
look,
so
me
it's
and you
it's a tie again between you two, and this is the best I've done since we've been keeping track. I got 2 points today, and I was behind you guys by 1. So once again, I fail miserably, but it's another tie for you. So
Okay.
I think that makes 3 ties total for you guys.
All right, so we have the total points
I do, but they're not right next to me right
Okay.
now. I can get that to you
overall.
guys
When
later.
overall,
Yeah.
we need to get those.
Yeah, I've been
Um,
keeping track of that too. So total wins, ties, and overall points.
Gotcha. So real fast, because it was one of my alternative questions, because I figured one of us had to ask the same question, like me and Sonny did that one day. Was basically, and I'm not gonna use this again. It was, do you know? And this is a trick, kind of a question, like get true or false. Does William Defoe wear his own teeth in the Spider-Man movie?
Yes.
I say no.
It's actually both, because if you watch the movies, when he's Norman Osborn, he has prosthetic teeth in to make all of his teeth look straight. When he's Green Goblin, he has his normal teeth where they're all kind of like crooked, gapped, and everything else. So if you watch the movies, and I had to go back and look at them, it's totally like his teeth are perfect, and then he just looks run down with his teeth as Green Goblin.
Ain't that
Interesting.
something? It's those little things that make the difference. That's really cool.
Yeah. So just a fun fact, do you know kind of thing. I like how Sonny like got smaller and he's like, no.
I don't want to say anything wrong
sit up.
here.
Right. Oh, let me just.
There you go. Now sit up.
You guys were both half right.
There you go, Sonny. Between the both of us, it's 1 point. I will take that point and then become a tie with you guys.
We're one half of a whole idiot. Yay!
Yeah.
All right, guys, we've gone through. Do you know? We all did pretty good. We all got some points on the board, and now it's time for the big review of the big movie of the year of this decade, pretty much. Spider-Man: No Way Home. And now, once again, warning everybody, we'll be having spoilers all throughout. We won't be holding back on anything. We'll go through the beginning to end, everything.
Mm-hmm.
So you've been warned again.
Yeah.
You've been warned.
Okay, so we'll start off with our movie theater experience. Who would like to go first?
I can.
Okay, go ahead.
If you want me to.
Where's that mask?
Oh, hang on. I gotta find it. Give me a moment.
This is the greatest mask ever in the history of masks.
I feel like that the was it the Japanese or the Spanish version of them?
When the 77 one.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, where he doesn't even have like the spider on his chest. It's like just a circle.
El Tarantula Libre.
Yeah. Hang on. You know what? This is gonna come up now. But my point is so went out with a friend to go see this. When we ordered the tickets originally, there was no like seat arrangement. Like normally when you order tickets, you can pick your seat, or if it's a pre-order thing, you get there and they ask you what seat you want. We got there a little early just to ask because we were in the Dells and just doing a whole bunch of stuff, but everything was like in the line, so it was easy to get to the theater. And we go in and we're about like half hour, 25 minutes early, and they're like, "All right, you guys go in. This is your theater. Aren't you guys gonna, take the seats or whatever?" There's no answer. I was like, "Oh, okay." So I guess we're just kind of finding them. We walk in, and the theater, we got like popcorn and everything, obviously. So give it 10 minutes. So we're in the theater probably 15 minutes early. Completely pitch black.
Wow.
Like, I mean, like movies on, but no movies on. Like the camera, like nothing. So you're like trying to walk by the lights to see where you're going.
Were you guys late? No, you were early. You were
early,
half hour early. Yeah.
Early. So we grab our seats, right?
Earlier.
We're smack dab in the middle. First one's there. We're eating popcorn, just talking. And I was like, I'm so glad we got here early. And she's like, why? I'm like, because someone would have took these seats. And she goes, you think so? I was like, it's Spider-Man opening weekend and we're in the Dells. I think someone would have took these seats. Literally, movie trailers hit, a couple people walked in, sat down, not a lot of us. And I'm like, ooh, that's kind of strange that there's not a lot of people here. Movie literally hits the opening credits and like a storm of like 20 people, 25 people come marching in with their kids. I mean,
popcorn and candy.
Dude, it was like insane. And I'm like looking around and I'm like, oh my God, they would have totally took our seats.
Yeah.
I had there was only one like disturbance throughout the whole movie. Like one person with their cell phone. But other than that, dude, it was a nice theater. I would have liked the reclining seats, but it was that like Dolby Digital seating area where they just have more than enough seats than they need. So yeah, the theater was good. It was clean. Can't complain. Had a good time. What about you guys?
I went with my sister and my brother-in-law and their kids, which was super awesome. I didn't get a chance to take my kids to see it. I'm taking them next week. They're going with their mother this week to go see it, which is cool because then when I take them to go see it, we can find things that we hadn't seen the first time around and get to experience it again. So when I went there, we got there early, not super early, but we got there early. And I took the kids aside so my sister and brother-in-law could get popcorn and soda and all that stuff. I love my nephews and my niece to death, but I almost choked a kid. And I said to him, no Spider-Man talk. at all until we get out of the theater. I said, we have to be respectful because people are going in same as we are, haven't seen it. Well, can we talk about Taupe? No, we can't. Can we talk about no, we can't. Well, what about this? No. What I just say? No, we can't talk about Spider-Man.
No means no.
At all. Well, what about Batman? Can we talk about Batman? Yeah, we can talk about Batman. Let's go look at the Batman poster. Well, hey, Batman and Spider. No Spider-Man talk, period. So we went like that for a couple minutes, went in, got our seats. We got right in the middle, and we had the reclining seats, though. The heat reclining.
Lucky.
Yeah.
I was happy just to be there, though. Let me just paraphrase that.
Dude, we were not totally center mass in the theater, but
we were perfect.
1 or 2 rows up before that, but it was great. It was wonderful. The lady sitting next to me, I think she had an eye watering problem because I was constantly wiping my eyes throughout the whole movie. We'll get into that
like
later.
onions?
Yeah, dude, someone was cutting onions in my theater the whole time, and it was so ridiculous. It's the only complaint I had. Somebody's cutting onions. I'm like, man, come on, can't you do that when you get home? But no, it was great. It was a lot of fun. The audience experience was really positive. People clapped, people laughed, people cheered, people gasped.
Oh yeah, we had all that too. There's those scenes where people just couldn't hold back.
Oh,
that was one of them.
Yeah. So Sonny, what was yours like?
Yeah, for me, this is the movie that got me back in the theater. The last time I went was December 2019, and then the pandemic hit, and obviously people weren't in theaters, and then came back. But I can honestly say, after it hit, normally I'm somebody, most of the things I like to do are inside, so it takes me a while to get out. And then movies are coming out, and I kept saying, "Oh, I'd like to see it," and then I'd find a reason, say, you know what, I'll wait. Like Shang-Chi, I say, I'll wait till it comes out, or even Venom. I wanted to see Venom.
Okay.
That was better than Spider-Man. You should have went and saw that in theaters.
What, Iron Fist?
Yeah.
And then Venom, I wanted to see it. I still want to see it, but I didn't get to see it.
You weren't missing anything.
I don't know.
Hey.
And I kept saying, I need to get to maybe when a big movie comes out, when I really want to see, and then Spider-Man was coming out. I'm like, this is the one. This is the one I really want to see. This is the big movie event. I want to see it before there's spoilers. I can't make up excuses anymore. I'm like, I need to get out there. I need to go to the theater. So me and my lady, Maria, we saw it, this past Monday. We were able to avoid the spoilers. And like you said, somehow we got the middle seats. I had my Spider-Man face mask on, the one, Jamie, that I wore in one of the early episodes of the
Codex. It was like
podcast.
episode 4 or 3 or 4.
Something like that.
Because you kept lagging.
Yeah, so I didn't want it to mess with it. Yeah, so I wore that, saw the movie, and it was a great time. It felt so great to be back in the theater. Yes, there were people there, but like I said, people cheer, people this and that, and too, I just really enjoyed the movie and I loved it. And I saw this is, like I said, the biggest movie of the decade, and just a huge movie event. And I was so happy with the way it was. Unfortunately, I had to use the restroom at one point.
Well, so, Jamie, we talked about that.
Oh no, I did
use it before I went to the theater.
I used it before, and I made the mistake. We got the big, soda and then the big popcorn. I had to start, I felt like I had to pee as soon as we got into the main opening, and I held that all the way. I don't know if this is healthy or not, but I held it all the way to the end credit scene, the last one.
So you did.
And as soon as I seen it, I ran to the bathroom. I was like, pew, and I was gone.
Yes, Jamie, I told you after I went in the theater, I think about 30 minutes in, I had to go to the bathroom. I was like, I am not moving from this chair.
Dude,
that is not happening.
It's almost like having a bad headache. If you don't move your head from a certain position and it feels good, it's the same thing with peeing. If you just sit in the same position and not move and not think about it, you won't have to. The Spider-Tingle will still be there, but it ain't gonna. I think I figured out what today's show is gonna be called, Spider-Tingle.
Yeah. Spider-Tingle, yeah. But yes, it hit me. Like I said, half hour through the movie. Yeah, things I went right before I went in. But I'm in Chicago, so there's all these commercials before, all these trailers before. It's a half an hour before the movie even starts, and a half an hour into it, they're on the bridge, and I'm like, I'm not going to be able to hold it. So let me finish this part though. I'm like, there's nobody missing this part. So I did finish it part. I went fast, and as I'm coming back to the theater, another theater gets out, and there's all these people, and I'm like, I know what they just saw. So I'm trying to slide by. Yeah. Doing that. At least I didn't hear anything.
elbowing, checking children as you walk by.
Go Spider-Man.
Yeah,
but you didn't see that one coming.
Yeah, so I made it back. But like I said, other than that got to me. But I was fast. And other than that, I had a great movie experience. I was glad that got me back. Now I think about 2 years without going to the theater. I'm somebody who loves going to see movies, and I was back. Spider-Man No Way Home got me back in the theaters. Who knows when it'll happen again?
Right.
Maybe Doctor Strange.
Maybe.
Just don't drink any soda during that. Just go in dry mouth and wait.
Sonny can see water and he'd absorb it.
Yeah, but it was a great movie experience. So I'm glad that I got to see it. And I wanted to be able to talk with you guys about it. I'm like, I don't want to be you guys just review it. I'm like, I'll do it another day or something.
Well,
like
I mean,
that.
what we had the
it.
original plans for the episode today, but I think we were all like, yeah, we're going to talk about Spider-Man.
Yeah, I kind of called you two. I was like, you know what? Why don't we just do a full review, or not full review, but a review nonetheless of it, because we could do Christmas and New Year's thing next week.
Yeah.
But by the way, guys, Christmas is next week. Which we'll talk about at the end of the show. But yeah, I was like, this is too big not to review.
This is huge.
Yeah.
Calm down.
Huge.
No, but
I refuse.
Huge. But no, it was, like I said, I had a great experience. It was a great time. Dude, like, we're gonna get into it. I'm not gonna say anything.
Okay, so we all had quite a bit of a movie experience. Let's go on to some of the things we liked in the movie. Yeah, pretty much like everything. I liked it from beginning
the movie
to end. Yeah,
all 2 hours and 23 minutes of it. Yeah.
No, I definitely, the one thing. Okay, I'm gonna start this off because I need to say this. If you haven't seen the Breaking the Code episode on live, the Twitch one me and Tim did impromptu, you guys would learn my hatred for Tom Holland as Spider-Man. And it was a necessary hatred, because the whole time I think I described him as the LeBron James of Spider-Man, because he always needs the best supporting actors around him to be Spider-Man.
Yeah.
He can't be Spider-Man by himself. And that was my problem. The best thing about this movie is that all that goes away, and now I have nothing but respect for the man. Especially at, we're doing spoilers, so I don't really care. At the end, when he has his GED textbook, and he's walking in the apartment, he's getting his apartment, now that no one knows who he is.
Well, that was the part I missed.
Is it?
No,
well, go back and watch it.
No, I missed that part.
Go buy another ticket. I'll pay for it. But no, that end when he's got the original costume,
the sewing machine shot.
Yeah. Every dude at that point, I was like, I'm in, sold. Thank you for ruining 2 other movies for me, but making this one fantastic. And no, dude, like, the whole movie was great. Don't get me wrong, but that at the end literally made me a Tom Holland fan, and I'm like, now I can't wait for the next 3 movies, because I want to see where they go. So that was
all the action. The most thing that won you over was him sewing.
Yes. Yes.
Now we know.
It was the fact that he didn't have a team ananymore. He was
officially on his own.
It's the Spider-Man that you knew. There was no Avengers. There was no, Doctor Strange. There was no anybody. It was just him being smart as he is, living in the lowest complex you can, and being Spider-Man.
I was waiting for when the landlord was like, rent's due at the first of the month.
He's like, you'll get this rent when you damn door.
I was waiting for it. I grabbed my nephew by the hand. I was like, listen, darn it.
Okay. Other than my side tangent, we'll get into this right now. Having the way they brought in Maguire and Garfield. Oh my God.
Yes.
That was hilarious.
Yeah,
perfect way they're like proving it. He sticks himself up, and that's not good enough.
I'm not going to stick to the wall.
And he's like, hey, my grandma wants you to get that cobweb. And he's like, oh. And then the one thing that screwed me up, and I don't know if you guys had this at first, is when Toby came in and he was just fully clothed, just standing there like, yeah.
Exactly.
And he was like, I'm like, why is he in his suit? And then finally later on, they're like, do you have your suit? And he's like,
Are you gonna fight crime like a youth pastor? Or are you
Yeah.
gonna suit up? I got it right there.
Yeah. And see, I love that they didn't get that right away in the movie. That they got you into the movie, like they let you be like, Tom Holland is the new Spider-Man, and then you got the movie. Then they introduced, or then they brought back, the Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield Spider-Man.
Well,
I was glad with
see,
that.
when they showed when Ned opened the portal and all you saw was the silhouette of Spider-Man. As soon as Garfield turned around and you saw how big those eyes were, you knew exactly who it was. And I was like, oh, there's one of them. Comes running in, gets hit with the dinner rolls, and then Peter Parker, Tobey Maguire comes in. I love the fact that they showed that there was progression with the characters. Like, it didn't just stop. You know what I mean? Like, Toby's an older man, Andrew's a little bit younger, Tom Holland is the youngest, but the two had still been Spider-Man after their movies were finished.
Yeah, really like that.
my favorite line did come from Andrew Garfield though. But Sonny, go ahead. You were gonna say something on my apology, brother.
Oh, no problem. But yeah, I was just gonna say I like the whole movie. For me, like the action, I like the drama, I like the comedy in it. And it was so good to see. Like, we kept hearing all the rumors. We're gonna see this person, we're gonna see that person, but it wasn't confirmed. And it was so good, like I said, when we seen them, to say there it is. They're there, the Spider-Mans are all together. When is the next time something like this can happen again and have such a big impact on a movie? And this did it. I think it lived up. I think more than lived up to the hype.
Yeah. No, it definitely did. One scene was when they were in the lab, all three of them, and they were like, and she goes, Peter, and they all point at each other like the meme, and they're like, which one? And like they're like, that one, no, our Peter.
Peter
Parker.
Yeah.
Spider-Man. Oh, me? No, you, me.
But
no?
getting back
Okay.
to the progression aspect real fast, the line that got me the most was after Andrew's talking about Gwen dying and everything, and how angry he was. He's telling our Tom Holland, Peter Parker, don't let the anger get you. He goes, I stopped pulling my punches. And I was like, I want that movie. I want that movie now. I was like, I want that raged out Andrew Garfield just not holding back. So that was my one line that actually got me.
Right on.
And I like to when Tobey Maguire Spider-Man was saying how he's like, because Ned asked him, "Oh, do you have a best friend?" And he's like, "Yeah, I had to kill him. He tried to kill
He
me.
died in my arms."
Ned's all nervous to speak to the Tom Holland Spider-Man. Like, hey, how's it going?
I promise I will not turn into a villain and kill you.
And then walks away.
Okay.
Like nonchalantly. There's so many good scenes in this movie. It's hard to narrow it down to just one.
Yeah, I think we can go through every part of the movie. That's a highlight. That's a highlight. The whole thing was exciting for me.
I think my favorite part of the movie, the whole movie was amazing, but my favorite was when the three Spider-Men were just hanging out on the Statue of Liberty talking.
Oh, can you fix my back?
Yeah, he's like,
I got a back problem too.
He's like, oh, I feel so much better now.
But like when they were talking about who's the worst or who's the stupidest or silliest villain you ever fought. Well, I fought a guy in a mechanical rhino suit. Yeah. I fought a space alien. Really, I was in outer space. Man, I'm so lame compared to you guys. Yeah. I love that.
Even just the general conversations, they were exciting.
And he's like, you're not lame. You're amazing.
I need to hear you say it.
He's like, I need to hear you say it. You're the amazing Spider-Man. Say it with me.
Man,
he's just like,
thanks.
I needed that today. Thank you so much.
Yeah. And then one of the highlights for me was when Green Goblin, when he was starting to turn, like that scene with there, and you start to see him get mean. And then Electro's thing is, he's feeling the power and he wants to take it off.
And Marco's like, don't do it. Don't.
It's going to get exciting.
Oh, yeah.
And then it did.
Well, let's talk about one more thing real quick. That part when Tom Holland Spider-Man and the Green Goblin are beating the snot out of each other. That scene where Tom Holland is just ramming into him in his face, and every punch Willem Dafoe turns and he's got a bigger smile each and every time. That was unreal. That was spectacular.
All pun intended.
No, all pun intended. Yeah, absolutely.
And then Tobey Maguire holding him back, just looking at him. And you see that look in
Dude.
his eye, like, dude, don't do it. You don't want to go this far.
It was just a look. That's all it took.
Yeah.
That's all
And
that
then he
needed
gets
to be
stabbed.
done.
Yeah.
I've been stabbed before. It's okay.
I've been stabbed.
Yeah. It hurts still, but you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
What
I
about-
mean, like I said, we could pick any minute of that movie and find
Yeah.
something great about it.
Yes. But any dislikes, you guys?
I would say for me, the biggest dislike was not enough Matt Murdock.
It's actually
Agreed.
disappointing. Yeah, that is.
I thought that buildup was necessary for everybody. Like, oh, he's not the lawyer. We saw that scene beforehand. It was actually a cop that was talking to everybody.
Mhm.
But well, there's two parts for me. But him being in the room and literally having like maybe a 2-3 minute thing. I mean, it was cool when the brick came through the window and he caught it, and they're like, "How'd you do that?" He's like, "I'm just that good of a lawyer."
Yeah, I'm a really
then-
good lawyer.
Yeah, I'm a really good lawyer, and just drops the brick and like walks away. Basically, well, not walks away, but sits there. I thought we could have got more out of it, like just something. I don't care. I wouldn't have cared what it was. I would have loved to just see him like jump behind the scenes, like building the building or something, you know.
Just
in
in the
Daredevil
outfit. Yeah.
But like with everything else, like today, with Hawkeye, that I haven't seen the episode yet.
I haven't either.
I'm gonna wait
Yeah.
till after this to do it, obviously. But like with Kingpin and Hawkeye, spoiler alert for that too. We only got a picture.
Yep.
So now it's official that the Marvel characters from the Netflix series are part of the MCU, and they're not part of the multiverse. They're not part of anything. They were legitimately in continuity with the
Yep.
MCU.
We talked about this the other day. All those characters are pre-Loki multiverse split.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
If I had a dislike, I think off the top of my head, the one thing that I wish would have been different was more of the physical Thomas Hayden Church instead of the CGI Sandman. I would have rather have seen Flint Marko in person standing there, because there was no real reason to have him be Sandman the whole time. And then when
he sat on that couch though and like
Well,
started
yeah.
wiping it off, and
Yeah,
then it just
sorry
gave me
about
more
that.
of a mess.
I love the fact that they got both actors to come back and do the voices, and then we with the redemption arcs at the end, we got to see the physical actors for all of 10 seconds.
Yeah.
With the Lizard, I understand, because I mean Kirk Connors would stay as the Lizard more than he would be Kirk Connors, at least in this aspect. But with the Sandman, with Flint Marko, I would have loved to have seen Thomas Hayden Church actually interact with everybody more than what was done, instead of just having him 10 seconds. I would have loved to have seen him stand there in the green and black stripe and all that stuff.
I say it would have made more sense. Like too, like I know, like
Yeah.
Keem, like you said, that was funny when he sits on the couch and he wipes it off. But yeah, it would have made more sense if he was like, why would you constantly be in your sand
Right.
Right.
form? But yeah. And then for me, I think yeah, to the Daredevil Matt Murdock part, it was nice to see him. Like, okay, there it is. It
Oh,
was
yeah.
true. But like you said, I would have wanted to see more. And plus, I saw his eyes move. And I was like,
Oh,
he's supposed
he's
to be
not
playing
Ben
a blind
Affleck.
man. He's supposed to be playing a blind man.
He is. He did it perfect.
I was like, all this hype I hear all these things about, and I'm like, and I caught his eyes moving.
The veil is broken. This movie is total garbage. I'm out of here.
Guess what? It did.
0
like,
out of 10.
It's getting Punisher Circle of Blood rating for me now.
Oh,
Nah, but there's one more part that really bothers me, and this goes with character progression. I did not like the MJ. I think Zendaya is a great actress. I
like
think
what they named her.
and why she wasn't going along with it. Like, was it Michelle Jones Watson?
Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh, you got your MJ," and she goes, "Or is your last name Watson?" And she goes, "I don't go by Watson. I go by Jones." And they never really peg into why. Like, they just keep it at that. So now we're sitting there like, okay, this is a perfect time to character progress. They're in a relationship. They could talk to each other about it. They could do something, but there's no character progression on why, and that bothered me so bad. I don't understand it.
Well,
And-
if you think about it, I mean, over the past 2 movies, they've only given us bits and pieces.
And that's my
Of-
problem. And I
yeah.
thought this would have tied it all up because, spoiler alert, obviously, She doesn't remember who he is after this.
Right.
Why not give us that little tidbit instead of making us wonder the entire time? Well, I mean, I can understand it, but what if she doesn't sign on for the next 3 movies? Then we just don't know, you
Yeah.
know,
But
because
maybe they
now that
want
she,
to do it.
I would say now that she, you know, she doesn't know who he is and he doesn't know who, or he knows who she is, but Ned too. Like, you're not going to get that information if she doesn't sign on. And there's some arc with her.
I don't think that story is completely over, though. I think that
I hope not.
Me too, because in the beginning, the first Spider-Man Homecoming, I was not a big fan of her as MJ. But over the course of the 3 movies, I have grown.
Well, we didn't even know she was MJ until the end of the movie when they're like, "What does everyone call you?" Oh, MJ.
Yeah, but I have grown like everybody else to love seeing her on screen and enjoy the times that she's there. And her and Tom Holland interact very well together. Yeah, I know a few magic words myself. Yeah, like, one of those being please.
Okay, so my favorite line, I was telling the person I was with this, is that I invented this line. She stole it from me. Is when she talks about, she's like, if you're always disappointed, there's never any disappointment.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's my line. I was like, how dare she? She owes me royalties now.
You just happened to say that when a Sony executive was walking by.
I know.
Like, I'm going to use that.
Why can't this be like, what do you call it? Like actual comics where if they
Find
hear it,
Twitter,
yeah, or they hear it or see it, they have to pay you for it or they can't use it. Like, come on, Disney and Sony, help me out here.
But yeah, for MJ, yeah, I think maybe they didn't want to put all that in there because maybe like in Spider-Man the 4th one, the next one or something, when now they have to get to know each other again. It would be like, why would you mention it? And then they know later, okay, now they have to get to know each other again. Whereas maybe just in Spider-Man 4, I would just call it Spider-Man 4. Maybe then she'll get to talk more about this. They're getting to know each other. She's, oh, this is why I go by this and that.
Right.
So,
I hope.
I guess there's so much going on too. Maybe that's why it didn't bother me because there was so much action in this. So I wasn't so much like, oh, I want to know more about MJ.
I hope they're done with the home titles now.
They are.
Now he's home. He can be somewhere else.
Yeah, they made that official. The next is going to be a different trilogy setup.
Good.
We might get apartment now. He's an apartment away. He's 3 square blocks away.
Yeah, that's away. Yeah, away.
Yeah, everything's away.
Away from New York. Away from Earth.
Away from Gotham. Wait,
Spider-Man 7 degrees of Kevin Bacon.
Yeah, that'd be great. Nah, but yeah, those were my only 2 problems. Sonny, you got any more besides the Matt Murdock one, or Tim?
No, the Flint Marko thing was the only real stickler that I had.
Okay.
Yeah, nothing really disappointing. But so we'll go on to the next subject that Jamie, you're coming up with. You're seeing character importance. You wanted to speak about, say who felt really had importance to the story, who didn't have that much importance to the movie.
All right, I'm gonna give my negative aspect on this first. So the downside. So I thought, and I'm gonna say this right now, Jamie Foxx had no importance as playing Electro in that movie at all. He had no significance to the story other than the fact that he was an Andrew Garfield villain. Every time that man would talk, it was because someone else made a statement and he was either agreeing or denying it. The biggest line he had in that movie was the fact of him talking about after Tom Holland finds him at first, and he's like, "Are we not going to address the fact that I'm butt naked?" That was his biggest line in that movie. Everything else, he was just like, it felt like he was just a backup character the whole time. Like even when he was in those cells that they had in the dungeon, every time someone talked, he'd be like, "Yeah," and he'd be like, "No, I totally agree. What's wrong with him?" And that's all he was there for. Sorry, that's not a great Jamie Foxx impression. You know, my point being is like, I love Jamie Foxx. I've seen him in so much. And like Lizard had, or Connors had less lines, but at least he made them stick. They had some importance to him. He wasn't just agreeing and disagreeing with people and just one wording.
The one thing I did like was at the end when Electro, he did say with the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man, he's like, after all this,
I thought you were black.
You're gonna be black. And then it almost makes you think like, you know, as fans, we're thinking, oh, if only he knew Miles Morales, you know?
Yeah. But yeah, that was the only thing that, like, okay, 2 parts that he had that were actually meaningful throughout the whole thing. obviously we had Green Goblin, who's to me portrayal was amazing. I thought it was better than the original Spider-Man movies, to be honest with you.
Yes. Oh
I was
yeah.
thinking it too. I was like, yeah, it seems better. I'm like, maybe it's because
went
it's new, but I'm like, let me see.
insane. Like I watched the old Spider-Man just the other day just to see, and he was not that crazy. He was crazy. I thought I'm gonna give one more. Because I want you guys to talk to you. I have more to say. I thought the Aunt May twist was fantastic. Her being the Uncle Ben giving with great power comes great responsibility was amazing. Especially later on when they were talking, all three of them, and they were like, and Andrew Garfield's like, yeah, my Uncle Ben died. He told me that, and then my Uncle Ben died too, and he told me
they
that.
all came to that realization of the people that told them that were,
were the glue that held them together the entire time. And then the last part, obviously, was when he was at me and Tim talked about this, when he was at the grave and he's talking and Happy shows up and he's like, so how'd you know her? And he's like, through Spider-Man. And you kind of like break a little bit right there. And he's like, yeah, me too. He's like, I know you. And he's like, no. He's like, oh, okay. And then he just like kind of walks away and it's like, oh, that one hurt. You've only been with Happy forever.
Right.
Jesus. But yeah, those were mine. I'm going to leave them at that. Those are the ones that came to the top of my head. So I gave my dislike and my like of the character progressions. Oh, Tom Holland. I talked about that earlier. But
yeah. Sonny, you want me to take it or you want to go?
I'll just quickly say that, character important. I thought what it was important. Like I said, certain characters, obviously Green Goblin out of the villains had a really big part, and Dr. Octopus had a really big part too, where some of the others maybe not as big, but it was still just, I was just having fun just seeing any villain there. As much action, it led to the, more action, just even more special for me. So I was glad with everybody being in the movie. Like I said, I would have liked to have seen more of Matt Murdock, but hey, I'll take what I can get. At least it was cool to see him for a little bit. But yeah, I thought it was good to have all these villains, like I said, from the different movies. This is what I wanted. I like to see all the heroes and all the villains together, and instead of just one per movie. I mean, sometimes if it's a great movie, it's a great movie. But if you can get a whole bunch in there, I'm a fan. I'll get out. I'll see it. Here's my money.
Character importance. I loved the fact that in as few words as they did, but super impactful, they were able to shore up Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man's current state from the endings of the movies that we saw them in. Like with Tobey Maguire, he said, yeah, me and Mary Jane, it took a while, but we got things figured out and, we're doing real good now. And with Garfield, Jamie, like you said, when he said, that anger got to me and I stopped pulling my punches, after Gwen Stacy died and all this other stuff and all that. So we knew that they were still Spider-Man in their respective universes up until that moment. I thought that was amazing. I thought that was absolutely fantastic. The Aunt May story arc, that was gut wrenching, man. That was one of the parts that a lot of people were cutting onions in the theater. And that killed me. But the cool thing about it, the thing that I like the most about it is when she got nailed with the glider and then she's moving around. This is where Marissa Tomei shows off her Oscar winning capabilities, right? Because she's acting like she's hurt. We know she's hurt. She got hit by the glider, but she just keeps saying, I'm getting tired. And then down she goes. And what happens, her death and all that stuff. That was horrible. Willem Dafoe's work as the Green Goblin, pulling him from whatever portion of the timeline he was pulled from. Like you said, Sonny, he was just absolutely more insane here than he was in any of the other movies. And I loved that. Loved what he did. Alfred Molina as Dr. Octopus. His performance was fantastic, absolutely wonderful. And when the arms got the nanotech, that was beautiful because that explained how he had the red arms, which we all figured out anyways before the movie even started. We were like, that's got to be Stark Tech of some kind.
Yeah.
Um,
That was the
Yeah.
first thing I said when I saw those arms. I was like, did he get the nanobites? Like,
there it is.
how'd that happen?
Jamie, I'm going to agree with you that Jamie Foxx's stuff was not super necessary. Like the movie could have come and gone with or without him, but having him in there was good.
I love the outfit. I love the
yeah,
new
oh,
the,
yeah.
the new look. Even when he brings it up, he's like, I'm digging this. Like
Yeah.
I dug it too, especially when you got the little electric, star
On his head,
Oh,
yeah.
in the beginning.
That was awesome. It was just the fact that like
That
I
he
felt-
agreed
I
or
felt-
disagreed.
it was one word besides
Yeah.
the 2 lines he had in the entire movie.
Yeah.
Where at least like with Sandman had a whole like monologue at one point, and you didn't think
Yeah.
about Sandman having one.
Well, see, with me, I think you and I talked about this. Sandman played more the Switzerland role.
Yes.
In the movie, he was very neutral.
He just wanted things to work out in his favor, and he was like, "Look, if you guys want to kill each other, kill each other.
Yeah.
I'm not playing this game. If I'm gonna die, I'm gonna figure out how to live." Like,
but the cool thing was that there were portions in the movie where he definitely played the villain like he was supposed to, but there were also portions in the movie like toward the end of Spider-Man 3 with Tobey Maguire where he had the character redemption and he became as much of a hero as he was going to become. And that also happened in Far From Home, which I thought was really cool. Sandman's parts, even though they were small, they were important. And the same thing with the Lizard, even though he had the least amount of screen time over all of the villains, anything he had to say was important and you paid attention. So yeah, character importance, they did everybody justice. Ned was great. MJ was great. All the Spider-Men, Aunt May, Happy Hogan. I mean, come on, man. It was just a fling, buddy, but you're taking it a lot harder than everybody else is. It was wonderful. I think they did a very, very good job.
Right. And like I said, there's not many ways to go about it like that was bad for anybody's character. Everybody did great. So
anything you guys would change with the movie?
I don't think so.
There's not a thing, Tim, that you would change about the whole entire movie?
Maybe take away the Doctor Strange trailer reveal at the end, because that was a waste of waiting. I could have waited for the internet for that.
That was not a waste.
I was still happy that I saw it. I was like, yeah, for me, I felt it was worth it. Wait.
You know that the amount of fun that I had in the movie theater watching that movie, any imperfections, any negativity or any dislikes that I have are severely overshadowed by just how awesome it was. And seeing 3 Spider-Men on screen together, my sister was grabbing my arm and shaking me when they were all swinging around. I'm like, I see it. Let me watch. It was wonderful. So no, I don't think I would have changed anything. I think the way that it was delivered was very, very well done. Character progression, story, action, drama, suspense, all of it's in there. It's well paced, and I think they did an awesome job.
I do. I agree, and yeah, I wouldn't change anything.
I would.
Uh-oh, what would you change, Jamie?
Now, well, we were kind of hinting on it a little bit. The Matt Murdock thing, I would have definitely pushed for more screen time for him. As far as that, the one thing that I would change, I don't know. I just feel like the whole Flash Thompson part, bothered me so much. And it's not even that. It was the fact of like, this is not Flash. That's the only character that I'm like, even with MJ, like I can see it being him as MJ. They have the same characteristics throughout the whole thing. Flash, on the other hand, if there's ever going to be an Agent Venom, I'm telling you right now, if he is, I'm not watching it. Especially when he's like, hey man, can you help me out with the MIT advisor? And he's like, if you sweep me around for a month, he's like, no, I'll do it for a week. He goes, no, a month. And he's like, no, I'm gonna do it for a week. I'm not doing it. He's like, all right, fine, that's fine. This is their number. This is what you're looking for. Like, and then he's like, oh, Spider-Man best friend, after he finds out it's Peter Parker. Like,
reading my book.
He's even got a book. And I thought of Sonny right away. I was like, that's something Sonny would do. That's some Sonny.
No, I stay true to my stories.
Yeah. But it'd be all blank pages, just the cover. But no, it was like that's the only thing I would change really. Like I couldn't like even it just annoyed me, I guess. I don't know if that's the right way to say it. Like it just wasn't a good fit for the movie and what the movie was going into. I think they just added him to have that character still be predominant in the series.
Because I mean, if you would have taken him away, people would have asked. You and I, all of us would have asked. We'd been like, "Where's Flash? What happened
I
to
wouldn't have.
Flash?" Yeah, but I mean, not having him there though, he had to be in at least 2 or 3 pieces just to show that he's still around, still moving.
I mean,
still
if he
being a
was still
jerk.
like
You need to see those tips. The all tips.
yeah,
That's
if
right.
if it would have been something where he was like in the hallway or something, fine.
Right.
But I didn't need I'm going to MIT and Spider-Man's my best friend. Like, no, that's something we didn't need. Like, I don't know.
I can agree with that.
That part I would have changed 100%. And to me, it was just so we'll move on.
Yeah.
But no, that was
everything going on
or
with the greatness of the movie. It kind of made me forget about his parts until you brought it up. And I'm like, oh yeah, he did have a few parts in there. Wouldn't have minded if he was in the way when like the Green Goblin was going by or something and he got hit by the
knocked
glider
him
or
out.
something.
Right. That'd have been better if he would have just got like knocked out at some point. But what are we gonna do?
Maybe next time.
I'm praying.
Guys, any predictions? What's in store for the future of Spider-Man?
Okay, I'm doing this. I'm doing this right now.
Okay.
I predict we're gonna get a comic accurate Eddie Brock Venom from that end credit scene that we got.
No, wrong. Venom's like a phoenix. Movie's
Venom's the Phoenix now. Venom now controls the Phoenix. Everybody. No, I feel like my prediction is they're definitely gonna go with the black suit Spider-Man.
Well, yeah.
In the next one, I feel like it's gonna be the next one.
You think that soon?
I think it's gonna set up.
I agree with that. I'll go with you on that. I think
so
it's
by
going to
that
be
second,
a setup.
I think this new trilogy is going to be the Eddie Brock Venom trilogy in his MCU, not the Sony MCU, but not Sony's version of Venom, but like Disney and Sony's version of Venom.
Right.
We're gonna see who the Eddie Brock is of Tom Holland's universe. Topher Grace.
Yes.
His redemption arc. No, but it would be great to see an actual like real way of doing it. It's kind of like the Phoenix Saga problem they have, Sonny, with the X-Men movies. They can never seem to get it right. Yeah. So hopefully this time they do. Let's speak about. I want to talk real fast. I do hope that works out. But can we talk about that end credit scene where he's talking about Thanos for a second? Where he's like, "You're telling me a purple alien came down."
And we said lethal protectors.
And took out half of existence with pebbles. He's like, see.
Yeah, it was good. You had to see Venom, Tom Hardy's Venom in there.
Yeah, it like as soon as he got
he was in the MCU for all of like in movie time 2 days, and then he's gone.
But and he's in Mexico, like just drunk.
He's got that.
But the best part, like when he goes back into his own timeline, I'm like, oh, please tell me that they left some of the symbiote there. And then sure enough, it's sitting right there. And then right before credits come back on, it just tweaks. And I was like, yes. This is what I needed. I'm like, MCU Venom.
So I've been doing a little bit of snooping online.
Rumors start now, guys.
Well, yeah, absolutely. So as far as predictions go, Jamie, I agree with you that this next trilogy, I think, is going to be the whole work through of the black costume. And maybe we'll get to see as accurate as we can of the actual black Spider-Man costume. Right. There's talks now. Yeah. Well, because of theater reaction on Tobey Maguire's return and Andrew Garfield's return, they are talking. This is early stages.
Oh, the Andrew Garfield getting his own movie.
Well, not only that, what they're talking about with that is bringing him in to be the Sonyverse Spider-Man again. So he would take the role of Spider-Man over there. And that means going up against Venom and Morbius and all of that stuff, which people want. Now, as far as Tobey Maguire, some people are saying he's forgotten. Well, he's not. Now, you got to think about it, though. With Tobey Maguire, when was the last real movie he was in? It's been a while, right? And I think the last interview he did with anybody was 6 years ago.
No, he did the one with the Uber driver for this movie where he was like, I'm back in.
That doesn't count. Previous to that,
There's an interview
so
with an Uber driver.
So what they're talking about is doing a continuation of Tobey's story, like doing Spider-Man 4, what it should have been that Sam Raimi wanted, but doing it in animated form in the style of Spider-Verse.
Yeah, almost like a Matrix or anti-Matrix or whatever it was called.
Well, not CGI like that. Well, yeah, but in the
I'm saying there's an animation version of the Matrix. They were carrying on the story.
Oh yeah, the Animatrix.
Yeah.
So that's the thought that they have with continuing the story progression of Tobey, is doing animated form like that, bringing Andrew back into live action, because he's already said, I'd love to do it if they ask. They're going to ask. As far as the trilogy for the MCU Spider-Man, Jamie, I agree with you 100%. I think that's going to be the black costume storyline.
And the good thing is that Sam Raimi's actually directing the new Doctor Strange movie. So there's possibility of him going back and finally making that last Spider-Man movie.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah, hopefully we get to see it. Yes, like I said, I've been hearing about that. Another rumor I heard was that they were thinking, with J. Jonah Jameson, is he going to get the Scorpion? Is that going to be the next one? Prediction I have is I think maybe I'll see the next villain will be, I think, the Chameleon.
I would love this.
We're dying on this hill, aren't we?
Because he was the first villain in the Amazing Spider-Man. He was first one. So I'm like, and no movie has gotten him. Like I said, and maybe somewhere along the lines, like I said, I think Peter and MJ have to start to get to know each other again. I think they'll do it with the Chameleon, and then I think later on, like I said, the black suit is going to have some. It's going to have some impact on the story, but I don't know if they're going to get to it from the beginning or maybe later on somewhere in the story. They're going to get to it, but I'm excited for this trilogy, and I think somewhere along the lines, I think we'll meet Miles Morales somewhere in there. Not the first movie, but somewhere I think we'll see him.
I think
I think we're gonna. Sorry, go ahead, Tim.
I was just gonna say. I said I think we'll see Craven too.
I think I think Craven's, if they're doing what they're doing, I think Craven's gonna be along with Andrew Garfield, because he's
Sony and not in the MCU,
because they already said Sony is creating Craven.
Well, there you go.
Oh, okay.
Get your own little mini Sinister Six going on over there.
Maybe. Oh, don't forget Kingpin. He's gonna have to have something. He's gonna have some impact on it.
Yeah, I think Kingpin's gonna play a prominent role moving forward, and he's definitely gonna be a part of that Spider-Man MCU entanglement there.
Mm-hmm.
So there's something I was gonna say that you brought up, Sonny, that it worked with. I don't forget what it was.
Alien, Scorpion.
No.
J. Jonah Jameson.
I think it was.
Man.
I don't remember.
Hammerhead.
Maybe
Sin
we'll
Eater.
get to see there you go, Sin Eater. Maybe we'll get to see Daredevil and Spider-Man actually team up on screen. That would be really cool too.
Yeah. What would be cool would be to see the Punisher come in and redo his very first appearance
by hunting down Spider-Man. That would be amazing.
That would be awesome. Yeah.
John Berthnall or whatever his name is, Shane from The Walking Dead. That's who he's ever going to be to me. If you ask who that, like, if I see his face now, you know what his name is? Yeah, Shane. But no, I think there's a lot of possibilities. There's a lot of endless ways we can go about it.
Oh yeah.
Sony has too many rights to too many villains, so they're not going to give up too much acquisition.
But they know that on their own, their movies are nowhere near as successful as,
and yet they've shown they've never cared.
Well, I mean, yes and no, because
they were about to try to take back Spider-Man about 2 movies ago. They said that they're done with the deals with Disney, and then once Disney opened their paycheck or paybook up,
and what the head guy for Sony in Japan, he's like, nope, get back to the negotiating table and make it work. I don't care what you do.
No,
get it
Tom
done.
Holland called Bob Eisner and
Drunk.
was drunk crying on the
Yeah.
phone.
Ugh.
That's the Spider-Man we deserve. Okay, get it right or don't get it at all. I'm
There you
just
go.
saying. But no, I don't think with all the Sony acquisitions they their properties that they currently own, they're not going to give too many more away.
No.
That's why we only got that little bit of Venom in there, so that way they can create their own Venom in Disney's world.
And I hope we get to see the Hobgoblin in at least one of the movies. I'd like to see
Ned.
the Hobgoblin.
Ned actually being the guy that turns, and that's the thing. That's one thing I thought about after he was like, "I'll never turn on you," and then they forget who he is. There's got to be an arc where
Yeah.
something happens and he becomes Hobgoblin, because I was watching, he lost 112 pounds for the role, and he said, "Well, it was a life, also a lifestyle change I wanted to make." But I'm like, if he's losing all that weight, there's got to be something else building up as well, and he's not saying anything.
Mhm. Fair enough. I can get behind that.
Okay, so we've gone through with likes, dislikes, what we changed, importance, our movie experience. We've all gone through and seen Spider-Man No Way Home. What do we rate it? Should we do a countdown at 3? Do we all go at the same time? How do you guys want to do it?
Tim or Sonny, you guys want to go first? You guys wanna give me
I'll
your-
go ahead. This gets an easy 15 out of 10. easy 15 out of 10 for me. This is absolutely fantastic. Yeah.
I think I'm gonna surprise you guys.
6.5.
10 out of 10.
See, I give mine a 9.7 out of 10.
Oh.
We were so
I'm kidding.
close.
Perfect 10.
But there you go.
Perfect 10 all day. All day, perfect 10.
Good. I was almost gonna say first to all do it. I had a feeling. I was like, I think you guys enjoyed it like me. Yeah.
Well,
We
no,
all
I
loved
do
it.
the whole thing I enjoyed. Like, obviously there were some parts that I could have dealt without, but as a movie as a whole, dude,
Mhm.
that was I'm being honest. I talked about when Tom Holland died in Infinity War, which is spoiler, I guess, for if you haven't seen that. I
If-
stood up and clapped in the theater.
Are you kidding me?
We talked about that. That's the thing for breaking the code. Me and you talked about. Remember I told you all the little kids are like upset, and I'm the one clapping.
Yes. Do you see that?
Watch the episode back, guy. Come on, you were there.
Oh my god. We
no-
talk about so much though.
I know, but no, because I couldn't stand him. Like, because I was like, why does he need why has he got Batman and Robin syndrome, where he's got Tony Stark as Batman, he's Robin? Why does he need the Avengers? He's never needed the Avengers. And that's what I was gonna bring up. Thank God I said Avengers, because that would have messed me up. The line where he's talking to
Yeah.
Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield, and he's like, I know how to work as a
Who's
team.
that?
I was an Avenger, and they're like, that's great.
That's great.
Yeah.
Who's that?
Is that a band?
What
is that
are
a-
the Avengers?
Yeah, and he's like, they're no, he's like Captain America, and they're like, I was like, okay, see, that's why they were great Spider-Man. But now that
Yeah.
no one remembers him, even the Avengers, he doesn't have to do anything. Like he has no ties to anybody, and I love it.
Yeah, but like I said, every part was just awesome. Like I said, even
Yeah.
when there was just talking, it would be funny, it'd be interesting. It was nice to see everybody together. The action was terrific. The acting was great. The
Mhm.
drama, the everything. So that's how we all give it at least a 10 out of 10.
Yes,
So
very
it
much.
was more than worth the hype for Spider-Man No Way Home.
I still wish that all that hype would have dealt with them never showing up in the movie.
Dude,
No,
That would have been the greatest mark of all time.
I'd have been done. I was like, nope. All right. We got 23 minutes left. Yeah, I'm out of here.
I told you they CGI'd a lot of that. Those what do
trailer.
you call it? The trailer, especially when he's jumping into all of them. Like
You
something
can
seems
tell,
off.
though. Yeah.
And then like it's all three of them jumping. I was like, yeah, I knew it.
All of them swinging around and doing all that stuff and hitting spider
Oh,
lines and all
Okay,
that
last
stuff.
thing we need to talk about when they're talking about their web shooters and McGuire's like, yeah, it just comes out of me. They're like, how does it come out of you?
We're
And he's like,
scientists,
"Well,
man. We're curious.
Yeah, he's like, it's like breathing. I don't know how to explain it. He's like, I make my own, and they're like, what?
We have to do web cartridges,
Yeah.
dude.
He's like, did you ever have web blockage? He's like, oh yeah.
And I did like to the Green Goblin. He's William Defoe, he said his part, I'm somewhat of a scientist myself.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was
Fit
in
that
there.
in, yeah. I heard
Oh,
cries
that,
from people laughing.
that's what was awesome when he's like, I'm sort of a scientist myself. I was like, he did it. But yeah, it hit it on all aspects. It was the perfect Spider-Man movie you could ask for.
Agreed.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So I agree with that. And just like that, we come to the conclusion of our Spider-Man No Way Home episode. So next week we'll be we'll be dealing with Christmas and New Year's, ending 2021, the first year of the Codex podcast. So for me, Sonny Kruger, take care, everybody. See you next week.
Real fast, as usual, guys. Share, like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you guys don't miss any more of the content that we are putting out for you, because it is a lot and you guys love us somewhat. As for next week as well, we are going to be going over, I think it's Lobo for our one issue. Sonny, which one was it?
Lobo, the main man of Christmas.
Yeah, it's the Christmas special.
Paramilitary Christmas special.
Paramilitary Christmas special. Great book. I love it. I can't wait to go over it. Thank you guys again. Be kind to one another, and we will see you guys next week.
And one more thing, guys, don't forget to hit us up on social media. We got Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, obviously YouTube. You can find all the podcast episodes on Spotify. All you have to do is search for the Codex Podcast or Codex Podcast, and you can find us very, very easily. Be sure to follow us on our social media accounts so you can find out when new episodes come out streaming on Twitch and new episodes appear on YouTube. Once again, my name is Tim. You guys have a good one.
Have an amazing, spectacular night.